Howdy guys, it's Joe here, and here I am today telling you guys who I personally feel like in Season 3 are the best solo carry heroes. Now of course this is one you are playing by yourself. This isn't, 100% following the regular meta. Some of these heroes might be a little bit different, but I'd say while you are playing solo, a lot of these guys will help. If you personally are stuck right now, you don't know who to play, you don't know really how to climb, these guys might help you, and I at least have one character in every role, so there you go, you should be able to learn at least one of these guys per role, and be able to help yourself get up just a little bit easier. Anyways, with all that said, let's get going. So, Widowmaker is a character that, in solo queue, is always a very good choice if you know how to play her very, very well. Now, I've been playing up in Masters, and I've been seeing a lot of extremely good Widowmakers. They have 70, 80, 90 hours. I saw one guy with 200 hours of quick play Widowmaker with 40 hours of, competitive Widowmaker, and he was getting these headshots all the time. He was like Grandmaster last season. There's a lot that you can do with solo with characters like Widowmaker. She's just an amazing carry. If you can get those headshots, you have very consistent damage, very high damage, you can instantly kill people. The big problem for this character is if you aren't a very, very good player at her, and if you haven't put like hundreds of hours into her, or I guess like tens of hours into her, you're going to be really a big pain to your team. You won't really be able to apply much to your team, and you won't really be able to help them. So pretty much this just comes to the fact of you. Do you want to put in a lot of time, get super good at a character, and hopefully be able to track the opponent, kill them, and really just carry yourself and your team, get in a lot of kills? Or do you want to try to carry another character that might not take as much time? I feel like really just with Widowmaker, she's just a huge time sink. You have to put in a lot of time, and it takes a while to get reward. But if you do happen to get through that reward, she's definitely worth it. For the next character, and of course another sniper, we have Anna. Now Anna's been a character that's really been the only support carry for a long time. Now of course, Zenyatta was a support carry for a while, and while he can carry decently right now, I feel like Anna just is put one step ahead. Of course, for ultimate, damage boosting your team, very, very strong, especially with Soldier 76. Those combos just take people out. And as well with Reaper, you do pretty well too. Of course, burst healing your teammates with all these tanks works extremely well, especially on someone like D.Va. And being able to put, really high priority targets on the enemy team to sleep, that can do a lot for your team. You just have a lot of different types of things that you can do. As well, stuff like anti-heal completely shuts down Zenyatta. There's just so much that Anna can really do. Finally, of course, if you get very good at her, you can switch between healing your teammates, killing the enemy supports, or killing the enemy attack damagers. As I feel like if you are at lower rankings, often with Anna, you can kill the enemy attack. While in higher rankings, you can get very good at healing your people and getting really good sleep darts. Overall, once again, she takes a little bit of work to get into, but a very, very worthwhile character. Now, as far as another person, there's D.Va, and D.Va's a character that was really quite ignored for a while. No one really ever played her, and then this season she just spun out of nowhere with all those buffs, and now she's very strong. Especially the movement speed buff, that makes so that you can stay close to your opponent while still getting a lot of damage on them, and as well, the health buff is very, very nice. You're really one of the tanks, along with kind of Winston, that can dive the enemy backline, but with D.Va, if you get caught, you can still often get away and then get back into your mech. I feel like she's really just like a safer kind of version of Winston, with an ult that can, if you play it really right, wipe an entire enemy team, and as well, she has a pretty much invincible right-click shield that can last like 3 seconds. There's a lot that you can do with this character, and while she may not be quite as consistent as someone like Reinhardt, I feel like if you want to be carrying yourself up the ranks, she can really supply you a lot of really nice stuff for that. Mobility, really high damage, and an ultimate that can just pop the enemy team. There's just a lot going for her right now, and especially when you're playing solo, she can be very strong. As for Tracer, she's been, an attack hero that I feel like a lot of people have kind of ignored for a while, but she's been getting a lot of results, and she's overall been doing very, very well. Now, by seeing more D.Va and by seeing more Roadhog, you would think that we'd see less Tracer, but she's actually been moving up the list a little bit, and I think that that's really because Soldier really can't deal with Tracer as well as someone like McCree can, or even someone like Reaper in a lot of cases. Right now with Tracer, it's just pretty hard for the enemy team to be able to kill you unless they have someone like Widow, I guess, and that really lets you have a nice field day. You can get behind the enemy team, kill the supports, and just get a lot of damage overall. Your mobility is really second to none. You can teleport around really quickly, and of course, if you're playing with a Zarya, your ultimate's just always known as probably one of the strongest in that exact situation. Now, of course, there can come the problem that you can get outranged, but on a lot of maps, you can just go around the side routes and just get them behind them and get headshots and pretty much insta-gib them, while the opponents really can't do way too much. Overall, her damage is very quick, she has a lot of mobility, and yeah, she's just pretty good in this season. And she's just feeling a little bit better than Genji as far as it goes right now, and those two really just kind of fight each other for the flanker role. Finally, the best person that probably everybody guessed, I'm going to say Soldier is probably the best if you want to carry yourself solo. Now, the one problem I see with Soldier right now is that everybody's picking him. It's very hard to get Soldier. Personally, I wanted to main him in Season 3, and I can barely ever play him. But if you can happen to be able to play him, if you can get pretty good at this character, you don't even have to get way too good, just pretty good. Get a little bit of headshots, be able to aim your right click pretty well. You're going to be doing stinking amazing. His self-heal, his damage, and his ultimate, along with someone like Anna, and really all the meta heroes right now, it's really just quite wonderful. As well as with the D.Va on his team, can easily take down a Reinhardt shield, which is super nice. Finally, a little bit of counter to that. And if the enemy team doesn't have a Reinhardt, well, your ultimate can kind of just have a field day, and you can just swipe the enemy team. Really, he's just quite overpowered as it is right now. He's the only offense hero that's really getting a lot of play in the competitive player as this moment really goes. And if you do want to pick a hero that does high damage, high mobility, high healing, and really does kind of it all right now, I'd say Soldier's probably your best bet. And there you go, that's at least my own opinion on this and who I feel like can personally carry you the most in solo. Now, I've been playing mainly solo and I've been playing mainly these characters, and they've really been helping me a lot. I personally feel like they're a really good choice to pick into solo, but if you have an own opinion, make sure to leave that in the comment section down below. As well, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to hit that like button, press the bell button next to the subscribe button, and then hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, have a wonderful day.